What's up, guys and gals? Welcome back to the Nerd Castle for the next episode of Sunless Sea Zubmariner. My name is Splattercat. Happy to have you here today as we hang out for a little while, and we've gotten to Anthe. They call it the City of Flowers. Maybe they do, but it's underwater, and what I know about underwater stuff, flowers don't do so great underwater, unless you put them in that suspension stuff that makes them live forever. They call it the City of Flowers, but the flowers are crystals, spiral matrices grown on the walls of Anthean caves. The inhabitants of Anthe are at least partly crystal, too. They call it going sharp, becoming more perfect and clearer and colder. I suppose I can study the chambers of Anthe? Those who go sharp. The inhabitants of Anthe go sharp. Not all at once, but piece by piece they turn to crystal. They sort themselves by sharpness, too. The sharp-handed cluster with the others of their kind, ignoring the keen-footed and the brittle-waisted. To progress through Anthe is to take on more and more of these attributes, to enter the deeper chambers restricted by sharp style. Choose which chambers you would like to discover. The Antheans speak of a woman named Rosina dying of a curious disease and sequestered among the sharp-spleened. I need sharpness of spleen, apparently. I must sharpen my spleen. Wind resistance? I guess I'll get my port report. Access to Anthe is restricted by type of sharpness. Those who are sharp in the ears do not necessarily mingle with the sharp-tongued. As for the inhabitants who are sharp throughout their full bodies, they don't circulate much. There is said to be a cavern, broad and shallow floored, where the perfectly sharp grow old together. They aren't capable of anyone else's company anymore, at least that's what you're told, and you can hardly go and ask. At any rate, they're more like growing crystals than like people, slowly expanding and bonding with the rock. Apparently I can choose if I want to go sharp. Consult the woman with the cubicle eyes. Learn how to accept the blessings that Anthe offers. Determine what is best for yourself and whose companionship you seek in the bubble caverns. Cultivate the capacity for sharpness. A woman gives advice to new Antheans. Her eyes are cubes of salt. She speaks of going sharp as a numbness and as an awakening, as the loss of sensation, the beginning of insight. Some Antheans use other metaphors: clarity, dryness, regularity, and structure. Well, everybody loves being regular. I mean, we can go sharp in the spleen if we really, really want to. Diplomats, saints, and cold-blooded tyrants. Sharp in the liver. Professional poisoners, spies, assassins. Let your lungs become the chamber of crystal opera singers, coal miners, and producers of poisonous gas. We can flourish in the groin. Fear my crystal dong. God. I can cut away my sharpness. Huh. I suppose I'll cultivate the capacity for sharpness? I failed and gained 7 terror. You struggle to right your mind. Instead, you give yourself nightmares of body parts that grow brittle and snap off. Man. Failing that with a 60% chance over and over and over again. Ain't that a bitch? I could basically end this journey right now on accident if I just keep trying to force that point. I think that's something you come back with later with empty terror. Oh, a light reflected off my screen and it looked like somebody was shining a spotlight on my boat. It scared me. It said there was something to the south. So I'm going to suggest we go and find that. Although it didn't mark it on our chart, which is disappointing. Oh, free supplies. That's cool. I like supplies. How are we looking? I'm going to have to buy supplies in Palmerston, I think, if I want to keep this going. We got to find the place that is hidden underground, though. They said there was something to the south, and so I'd prefer to find it. Said to the south of Anthe. Oh, good. More torpedo shells. Hell yeah. I need those. I need those really, really badly. Here, give me those. Give me them things. Hell yeah. We found da Hut. Not just a hut. Da Hut. You ever been to da Hut? I've been to da Hut. All the cool foes been to da Hut. Why is that ground undulating? Oh, dude, is this... It's related to polythreme. I knew it. So Polythreme has like an underground companion. Drowny's built a copy of London as it never was, a cathedral and houses and fields of flowers all underwater. The water is cool and luminous, and at the same time, it is breathable air. Oh. My enthrallment to get a port report. I can wander and make no commitments. You're only here as a visitor. You don't need a place to stay. Or I can stay a while in exchange for news. Bring Drownies the news of how London is now, and they will allow you to remain here for a time in exchange. Sure. The Drownies make you welcome. They do not attack here. They do not even move quickly. They drift and sing and sometimes dance. Note that it is easy to gain terror in Dahut. Be careful. Okay. So it seems like maybe you should just bring news through every now and again. And then when you bring news through, you'll have enough to actually attempt some of these. The more you look, the more you see that you are perhaps not intended to. The cathedral's crypt is a prison. The graveyard is larger than it looks, and the bones are not all buried. The border between the breathable water and the dangerous water is not marked clearly. Some have drowned in crossing over, leaving their possessions scattered on the Z floor. We failed in our challenge. We now have a port report of Dahut, though, and we also have clarity, the ability to see through the glamours of the Drownies. I think I messed up. I was clicking to leave, but then we didn't leave. The weather's been dismal lately, hardly a single wreck since St. Egidius's day. And then it was only a little yacht with a few sailors aboard, and 2 of those were able to swim to shore and didn't come to Dahut at all. We just have to hope for the spell to break. I just want to leave. It seems like a dangerous place that I don't really want to be at. Ooh, terror minus 50, hunger, okay, terror up 5, hunger minus 50. Let's go ahead and surface before we do anything else. We have found some settlements, though, so that's a good thing. We found some new stuff down at the bottom of the sea that we can bother with. I do like what they've done with the different cultures of the city. Like, every city feels distinct in this game. They've all got, like, their own thing going on, and I like that about them. Let's go up to Palmerston. We'll come back around to Polythreme later. I'm going to keep the lamp on because terror is getting a tiny bit high, and I would rather not deal with it right now. We have a foe. Unfinished pirates. Yeah, let's murder them. These pirates don't want to know us. That's right, turn away. Avert your eyes. You don't even know the ass whooping that's coming for you. What treasures have we found? A filthy scrap of paper. Until the 6th candle was extinguished, now we all watched the flame as it stood up, as if it were on tiptoe, taller and bluer each heartbeat. Its light grew brighter in the moments before it failed, so that I saw the faces of all of my companions drawn in white, as if we were already dead. Then the candle flame drew itself up like a dancer and was extinguished. Dark fell upon us like a wave, and I heard the hatchlings recoil. Apparently we got a tale of terror. Kind of lame treasure, but then again, the rewards in this game for fighting pirates and stuff have never been that good. After they released the game a couple weeks afterwards, they nerfed all the pirates pretty hard. Whereas, you used to be able to capture the ships and sell them and stuff like that, and they removed that entire system altogether because I guess it allowed people too much access to money or something. I don't know. I feel like the game could be accelerated a little bit. In fact, with that system in play, I felt like it gave people a bit of freedom to play the game how they wanted. If they wanted to go out and hunt pirates and earn their money that way, that was perfectly viable. Now it seems like they really, really want you just to go in circles around the map over and over and over again to get your money. And that's a valid play style too. It's just that the treasures seem kind of lame that you pick out of ships. Like, I would like them if they were a bit more valuable. Because, like, for example, we just went through, like, what, 20 Echoes worth of torpedoes? Some of the stuff we fought so far, we've gone through, like, 50 or 60 Echoes worth of torpedoes. It's just got to pay back in a way that's... It's got to pay back in a way that's acceptable, you know? Up to Palmerston we go. We'll drop off here. We've got to the Blind Bruiser. We had a job for him over here, which is the main thing we're trying to handle. So we'll take care of that business, and then we'll try to drop off the lady that needed to go to the Isle of Hands. Let's see, Mount Palmerston, and we needed to talk with the contact. There it is. We got strategic information. A cowled and buzzing shape clasps your elbow. It whispers in your ear. Its breath is lava and old brass. A queasy vibration shudders through you where its gloved appendage has taken hold. You have what you came for. Back aboard the ship, quickly. Your vision blurs. Perhaps you were unwell. Alright, and then we need to find... Oh no, it was Guider's Mourn for the other thing that we needed. Let's explore the island, I guess. A buzzing beggar, Zoles, my friend. A masked figure entreats you. Zoles, do you have them? I miss them, Zoe. Let me pay you for them. I don't. No souls today. I see, I understand. Perhaps another time you will bring me Zoles. I might be here. Perhaps I will not. Okay. The Merciless Modest. We need 5 bales of parabola linen. She gives iron veils and hearts. Huh. She's not bad. We'll get our thingy right there at the shops. How much fuel could I possibly purchase here? Oh, it's cheap here. Good. Devil Bone dice are pretty cheap too. We needed 7 of those. So I will take them back with me. The Daily Bread sells supplies. I'm not going to worry about that for right now. Instead, we will load up on fuel because we've definitely still got all kinds of random tasks we need to be undertaking. Now then, let's make for the Empire. I could go up to Irem, but actually let's do Irem and then we'll go down to the Empire. There's no reason not to do it. We might as well get as many port reports as we can on our way around. See if we can stack ourselves 800, 900 echoes for it. It's definitely one of those days. I woke up this morning. What is this? Is that the edge of Irem? Why are there... What are these? Hold on. Okay, so yeah, it's the edge of Irem. So I don't remember there being like ice flows next to Irem, but maybe I'm not remembering quite right. But yeah, I woke up this morning with a sore throat. It's one of those things where I woke up, and it wasn't like the normal sore throat. It was kind of like the swollen sore throat, you know? Where it doesn't really hurt. Your throat just feels kind of like puffy, and you're like, oh, this sucks. And so anyways, I'm expecting full well to get sick in the next 2 to 3 days. It's that distinctive feeling. You know the one. That one where like your throat kind of itches a little bit and it feels just like a little bit swollen, like there's a little lump in it. You're just like, oh man. I hung out over the weekend with somebody that had been sick in the last week. We have horrors below. Sailors at the rail. Call softly. Something swims beneath the ship. I saw it looking up at us, one says, his voice a tremble. Well, shoot it. It comes dripping from the sea, sleek as a seal, but its eyes are faceted. One sailor covers his ears. Oh, I swear, he says afterwards, I heard it scream like a woman. We succeeded, and we got a strange catch. We'll need that for later, too. Strange catches are actually a combat item. You can use them to force a submerged sea beast to come back up. So if you're fighting anything that goes underwater, you can use that, and they'll come back up to the surface. Let's go ahead and compile a port report. We don't really have anything here for Dark Drop Coffee. We can get ambiguous eoliths for secrets. That's not really a great trade. Wouldn't recommend it. We have a captivating treasure. We can get 50 fuel for a captivating treasure. That's terrible, though. Why would you get that much fuel? Unless there was like an event that required it. For 333 echoes, none of this stuff seems super awesome to me. I kind of like the spread that we have, although I will turn some Tales of Terror and Disease stories because we're a little short on those. And those come up pretty frequently. We'll keep an eye on our terror. Keep the lamp on. Head southwards to the Empire to drop off what's-her-name. And she actually, in case you didn't know, has something to do with that temple that was there before. We will require her in order to do a storyline down that way. It will be a lucrative storyline. It will be a fun storyline, and I hope you guys enjoy it. And then from there, we'll go down to probably Polythreme, hit Estval, hit Nuncio, hit Khan's Shadow, hit Khan's Heart, hit Guider's Mourn for the Blind Bruiser, hit Demo, and then done. We'll be finished. And that'll be one big journey. And now I am actively going to try and do all of the random events that are down in here. Well, not the random events, but all of the storylines. Because it will benefit us. Oh, a glorious dreadnought has seen us. Let's go ahead and we'll kill the lights. He's launched a flare, and now he's pelting us. We need to outrun him if we can. We unfortunately lack the ordnance to really take him out. We could beat him, but I would rather not. We're all clear. I don't think I've ever gotten far enough in the storyline to figure out what goes on with the Glorious Dreadnoughts, like what their story is. I think the Glorious Dreadnoughts also have a gun on the back of them, though, so you can't use the old method of burying your nose in their ass like a dog and then just firing rounds into them while they spin around and try to get you. The AI in this game is not intensely bright. All they really have to do is back up and reverse and then kind of pull one direction, and they could shake you off pretty easily. But they don't do it. They don't do it. There we are. The delightful adventuress leans over the rail of the ship, sniffing the humid air with evident distaste. What a filthy, damp little place. Oh well, we all endure. At the sight of the mayor hobbling up, she straightens. A thin, insincere smile spreads across her face. Ah, you there, my good primitive, she calls, striding down the ramp and clasping his arm tight. Now then, I come in search of your first Emperor's vault, and for that I shall be needing a few things. Some of your finest workers, tools, food. Do you understand me? She shakes her head, barely waiting for a response. Food, she repeats. Compremenas. Oh dear, I see we shall be here for a while. Listen, I hear you fellows rather like souls. Shall we discuss that like higher primates? Payment for the journey, Barnabas stays up to settle while the mistress negotiates the value of her soul with the mayor. Barnabas removes his mask with what looks like a moment of silent relief. Underneath is nothing, just a flat surface where his face should have been. Ah, he's an unfinished Clayman, one of those flawed products of Polythreme that follow their own rules. If only you'd known that before he boarded, of course. That's why the adventuress never mentioned it. He silently presents you with your agreed fee, dips his head in polite bow, and lumbers back to his mistress. It appears she has struck a deal with the mayor. So she's created a base camp in Fountainhead Island. She welcomes your assistance as one who has proven to not be entirely useless. We also got paid $200, which is great. We will go to Port Stanton. We will not take shore leave. Instead, we will compile our report. The Zeppelin is not one we need. We can sail to Fountainhead. There we are. You can go to her camp. With a small army of monkeys bought with her soul, she excavates the vault of the first emperor. The delightful adventuress, helped by her faceless Clayman bodyguard Barnabas and a small group of worker monkeys hired for the price of her soul, works to excavate the vault of the first emperor. We can look for a gift. The delightful adventuress has already uncovered and put aside many treasures. A small statue amongst them looks particularly interesting. Nobody is watching, at least you don't think so. It's hard to tell, with Barnabas' blank face giving nothing away. Can he see? He seems to be able to somehow. In any event, makes no move to raise an alarm as you take the small trinket. You can speak with the adventuress. Oh, it's you, of course. Help me with these blasted maps, would you? The monkeys are quite clueless. She shakes her head. They claim our souls. Uplift them, but if you ask me, it's just a case of monkey see, monkey do. Can you believe they think the Zeppelin of theirs will allow them to create a new empire? Wait, you there. Take that out of your mouth this very instant. To the vault. It may look centuries old, but the entryway is relatively new. The monkeys can never leave alone. Always adding bits on their whims demand. We can go outside the vault. She flits back and forth between the base camp and the vault entrance. The delightful adventuress pays barely any attention to you as she prepares. She's not yet ready to open the vault. You should return later when she's had a chance to organize the workers. It may be a while. Oh, okay. Well, then we won't do that now. I suppose that saves us a little bit of time. Down to Estival we go to harvest supplies and make ourselves a little bit more wealthy with the fat of the land. In addition, we will fill up the mirror catch box for obvious reasons. We're going to try and sneak that back into London. We've already got a nasty crate of souls anyways. So if we get caught, we get caught. There's nothing to really worry about there. I wonder if it's faster to go to Polythreme than to Estival. Whatever. Maybe we'll just skip Polythreme for now. No, I need Polythreme. Never mind. We won't skip it. Let me go. We have to go to Polythreme because I need an unfinished Clayman for this guy's quest. We haven't even started everybody else's quest yet, but his is the first one we'll want to fiddle with. All of these guys have their own thing that they do. Let's stay clear of the Sentinel right there. Oh, shit, he's got us. Is Polythreme close, or am I just wasting my time here? Oh, Keef's Drift. Oh, we got some fragments. Cool. There are no islands within the bat's range. What I'm looking for, though, are submerged areas, things we may have missed on our last bypass. Keep terror nice and low. Nothing to worry about there. Off to Polythreme we go. We will pick up a few more Claymen. Then it's down to Nuncio, to Estival, to whatever is east of Khan's Shadow. And from there, not so difficult. We actually have done a great job at making a lot of money right now. This should be a trip that affords us 5,000, 6,000 echoes, if nothing else, and will be profitable. Then we'll upgrade this ship. We'll start going after some of the more difficult quarry, some of the more fun quarry. Alright, so in Polythreme, I will gather intelligence. We've asked about... Venderbite said this would advance her search for Lady Black. Okay, so apparently we've got a thing to do here. The ancient captain... The claymen profess ignorance. The benches wail too much to be sensible, but there is ancient long-winded harbor walls that remembers. The house of the keel made exiles of themselves, it says in deep, crotchety tones. They boarded their ships and took to the sea. Then, far from land, they took axes to their ships, sank them, and followed them, man, woman, and child, into the depths. In abysses they built their fathomless churches and resumed their worship of Lady Black, the spirit of the deeps. The unsettled salvager holds onto your arm for support as you walk back to the ship. I need to dive again, she says. Grant me a suit, please, my lord. You do have one in your possession. You could allow it next time you set sail. She knows what she must do. Okay. We have a Judgment's Egg that we're carrying along with us that we could sell here. We've also got a Clayman engine. Goes to auxiliary. It costs us 300. We are clay. The trio of clay stokers will reduce crew requirements, but also crew capacity. Oh, that's fine. Yeah, let's take that. And then we'll go to our, I guess, hold. We've got them on board. We'll put that in the auxiliary. That'll give us extra irons and extra engine power. So we'll move a little bit quicker, which is something that I have been worried about over the course of the trip. Now then, did I get everything here? No, I needed claymen. And like that, it was time for us to leave. So out we go. I may get rid of our weapon that fires torpedoes. I don't know. I don't like having limited ammunition, and then as you get further into the game, a lot of the stuff you're going to be fighting is going to require flensing weapons to do, like, real damage. And so I may put a flensing gun on the front of this thing. It's something that I've entertained the thought of doing. Either that or I've got to travel with more torpedoes. And they're expensive, man. That 5 echoes adds up. You got like 10 torpedoes on board. That's 50 echoes you're not making from a port report, just based on the facts. So they want a diving suit. The unsettled salvagers requested a diving suit that she may descend and find the Black Lady, a spirit understood to dwell in the abyssal deeps. You could give her permission and a diving suit and allow her to throw herself to that blackest black. Or perhaps you could bring her back to London and commit her to the Royal Bethlehem Hotel. Sure, do whatever you want. You help the salvager don the heavy diving suit. The two of you are alone on the deck. Your crew has refused to be present. Once dressed, the salvager clanks over to the gap in the railing. She stares down into the black before turning to you. She holds her hand over her heart and leaps backwards off the deck. An epicyanic spray bursts from the calm sea. Exactly 21 minutes later, the line goes taut and you draw it up. But there is no one in the suit. You draw back. Only ancient axes and adzes discolored by salt and tied to the suit with strands of kelp. Okay, we got 5 outlandish artifacts. That's worth money. That's worth cash, money, skrillsas. We found the Atsaquaric Abyss. And there's something right there. Oh, it's a Lorn Fluke. Lorn Flukes are actually not that hard to kill. We need more torpedoes, though. I've only got 10. If I had like 20, I'd be like, yeah, let's fight it right now. And I'm sure we'll be okay. But we don't have that many torpedoes. Instead, I think I'll probably just make for Estival. Ah, use psychic powers on us. It's got a projectile attack that it does. It can be a little annoying. It doesn't do much damage, but it's one of those things you gotta be aware of. Fire out a Z-Bat while we wait for this thing to fall off. The Lorn Fluke is actually one of the colors that you're looking for in the ocean for the collector, too, in case you're wondering about that. Something underwater to the east. Oh, it's apparently right underneath us. Let's have a look-see. Oh, it's the hideaway. Oh my god, it's like a giant crab thing. Huh. That's kind of terrifying. I don't know how I feel about that. On the back of a giant beast live exiles from every corner of the Neath. Here, gather the traitors, heretics, artists, fools, and the too honest. Despite possessing a range of radically different ideologies, they live together peaceably. Let me get my port report. Most hideaway dwellers toil to strengthen their city against the Z's crushing weight. Those that don't instead prepare for that night's festival, and all without a word spoken aloud. They need to communicate. The people of Hideaway rely on strict systems of acutely formal gestures. Drop off the impolite investigator. The impolite investigator grins as he disembarks. As soon as he's exited your ship, he spots a small ancient man, the sprightly visionary. The investigator rushes over and shakes his hand while unleashing a barrage of questions. What's your name? Reason for exile? How's the food? The visionary writes a message in the notebook chained to his wrist. He presents it to you both. Welcome. Sorry, must run. You need to register for yourself. Go straight ahead. Advice, no questions. Befriend Temtem. Good day. And I guess that's it. I will see you on the next episode of Sunless Sea. We are out of time. Hi to everybody. It's been a lot of fun so far, and I'm sure it'll be a blast in the next episode, as I keep saying. Check out the Patreon if you hadn't. Other than that, bye, everybody.